Craziest thing I've ever seen on the water. That thing must have a lot of ballast.
Look at that boat on the front. It actually kind of looks high in the water. Bring her out.
That trawler with the paravanes is registered in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So I bet they came up through the canal, spending the summer in California. I wonder where they're headed. I wonder if they're planning to eventually get up to Alaska, or are they going to hang out here until the end of hurricane season and go to the Sea of Cortez? I don't know. It's the second time I've seen that boat out here. Waiting for the opportunity to chat with them. Love to hear their plans. It's a beautiful sailboat too. I think that's a Moody center cockpit. I think. Cutter rigged. like the hard Dodger look. It's nice and comfy out of the weather at the helm. The sun just came out. The water is 73 degrees Fahrenheit. It's, what is it today? I think it's July 31st. We're officially into the best time of year to boat in Southern California. I feel like it's August and September. It's the warmest, it's sunny. The winds are consistently mild, 5 to 15 knots out of the northwest. We spent the night in White's Landing. It's right here. We're actually in Hen Rock, which is, if you see that rock, where is it? That rock right there, center frame, looks like a chicken. We're on that third mooring to the left of Hen Rock. And we are headed over to Avalon to pick up some friends. 2 young boys and their parents. We're gonna take them over to Goat Harbor. We're gonna anchor for the day, have lunch, let the kids play at the beach, kayak, stand-up paddle, swim, whatever they want to do, and then we'll get them back to Avalon for dinner time. Right, Jeff? Good boy.
Part that you won't eat.
Yeah, Bennett's it's a new boat, I think. Maybe brand new.
I like how it looks like the swim platform is built into the boat and it folds down.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
Also, I really like one of those. I really like this one. Is that in Charlotte?
I think it's somebody's davit, their crane. Oh yeah, it's over there. That express cruiser. See them? They have a center console dinghy and they're lifting it.
Oh yeah. I thought he was like doing.
That dinghy's probably like 1,000 pounds. Center console, big oak one.
How much does this boat weigh?
17,000. It's probably heavier with all the stuff we have on board.
That big one.
Yeah, I think 17,000.
The dinghy?
That sailboat turns quick.
How big do you think the keel is on that thing? It's built to turn the boat without the motor on. Do you know if we get any turning abilities when we're in neutral?
Yeah, as long as we're making way, as long as there's water flow over the rudder, it'll
How
steer.
come it doesn't work playing reverse?
If you get going fast enough, it does. You gotta get going, I don't know, 3+ knots, and then it starts to steer. It's just not as responsive as forward.
Does it do better in swimming boats? To turn?
I think a planing boat, they have smaller rudders since they go faster.
I'm a 36-foot boat. I wanted to know if there's 2 hours.
What's that mooring doing all the way out there? That mooring the farthest away, what do you think? Why do you think it's there, like all the way out there?
Bigger mooring would be my guess. Longer length.
Oh, this is big.
Yeah, I think this is set up for like a really large landing craft to come up right here. Can you lift that?
No.
Yeah. Watch your toes.
Why do they have that link in the middle?
Makes the chain stronger. And then they get this ramp over here.
Oh, yeah, people are going in the water.
Hyperbaric chamber. You got a tour of that once, right?
I'd like to see it again.
Do that with my sister.
Yeah, you only posted Instagram saying like I'm running it, so I don't know if you finished it.
Compete with her in that way, but it's definitely a multi-user space.
I swear.
Not bad. Sure, pass it around, but that's what it's like. Coffee grounds or soil, and we take this. Not only does it reduce the volume, and we get water as a byproduct. You know, all waste on Catalina is shipped to the mainland. In Avalon, they do have a landfill, but that's expected to be full in the next 2 years.
Beck and T went into town. Jeff and I are enjoying the last of the warm sunlight over here in Cherry Cove. Sold out mooring field. Actually, 4th of July, the Isthmus and Cherry are all filled to capacity with boats out in the anchorage. Got the generator running, charging the batteries, and heating up water for showers tonight. What else? Windlass is giving me trouble. I replaced the clutch pads last summer, and I left the clutch engaged or locked, and I think it compressed the discs to the point where they're now, with it as clutch as tight as I can get it, even putting a wrench on it, it's still slipping just with the anchor plus about 35 feet of chain. So I had to help it up by hand precariously, making sure to not pull my hand into the gypsy, actually shoot up my knuckles a little bit on the chain, because the gloves were sitting on the foredeck instead of being on my hand. The Teak decks are in need of being recocked or just ripped out and replaced with non-skid. I got a couple of spots where I think I know it's starting to leak into the core. The bigger spot is in the cockpit on the port side. Nope, sorry, starboard side. The cockpit right around the scupper. And then I noticed that on the aft cabin top, when the deck is wet, if there's a spot where I step and I get little air bubbles. Doesn't feel any softer, but anyway, the caulking is definitely separated from the deck. So I carved out as a test today, my first pass, removing and replacing some of the caulking. And I bought a kit from Teak Deck Systems. It's the reefing knife, a sanding block, some tape that you put down in the base of the groove, so for the next person that's removing caulking, it'll come up a little easier. There's definitely no tape under the existing caulking. It was a lot of work digging out with a razor blade and the reefing tool. And I slipped in a few spots here and scratched the deck a bit, but I think once I sand it, those scratches will smooth out. And what else? This is kind of a trial run to see if I want to go through the pain of redoing the entire boat by myself or just pay someone to do it. And I'm thinking if I can do, say, 4 or 5 of these strips at a time, I'll just do it myself. Definitely going to invest in an electric caulking gun because stuff's really thick and hurt my hand just squeezing the gun for these 2 short strips. What else? I need to get the drill bit to make new bungs. I got a block of teak. Here's an example. I need to back and resync the screw and put a bung in there. So there's some rippling in the deck. So I think what I'm going to do next time, so I don't waste so much caulking, is after I strip out the old stuff, I'm going to try to sand flush and flush out the boards a bit, the strips. Then I won't have all these low spots. And obviously this needs to be sanded to make it look all finished grade like this. two-handed. Kind of ratchet it. Remember, find the top dead center on the compression. There you go. Yeah, you've just been pumping fuel every time you turn the engine, so it's all flooded now. Bigger stroke, you're not pulling enough cord. Almost. See, now that's a good example. If we were directly behind that sailboat, we may not have had time to stop, hit the brakes, change course. If we followed too close. You see how quick their boat stopped when the mast hit the bridge?
Yeah. Dog head right in the middle of the frame. Alright. No.
Vessel time bandit, this is the Long Beach Rescue Boat 1.
Rescue Boat 1, time bandit.
Time bandit just confirming that's the 2nd Street Bridge.
Yes, sir. It looks like a 22-foot Catalina sailboat, and 6 or 7 people on board. It looks like they eventually got free, and they're over by the boat yard. So,
Boat 1 copy, thank you.
Ouch, that was a stirring lecture, huh? Hey, Teddy! Hit the brakes in a moment.
There you go. Got a backer. Come on now. Come on now.
Just want to hit that too hard.
I got you.
This is my swim stuff, huh?
All right, I got you.
Reverse. Thanks for the catch.
God bless you, you're getting good.
It's that fine line
You're
of.
still in neutral.
I'm in neutral, yeah, I'll reverse it here.
Hey, big guy.
Want
I
to go
got-
slow, but I go too slow, then the rudder doesn't do anything. Thanks, Beck. Oh, that's fine. I'll tighten it up.
How you doing, Dave?
Happy August.
Whatever year this is.
Best month of the year.
All right. You got her now.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, sailboat behind us. There's a little Catalina sailboat following us with its mainsail up under the 2nd Street Bridge. They didn't make it.
Shoot, boom.
Yeah. Wow. It's a quick stop.
Lost,
It is a quick
they lost their weather.
Yeah, they lost their antenna and their weather instruments up on the mast.
Oh, Lordy.
Fortunately, the rig stayed up. So, boy, man, it was close. You know, it was they were probably 2 inches too tall, 2-3 inches.
Bam.
Almost made it.
I've seen them go in there and they get stuck.
That's what they were pinned. I called the
Harbor Department.
Beach Rescue. Yeah,
They'll just lean them over there and they'll pull them
pop
out.
them free.
Yeah,
They sewed
they.
their mate up, and then they got beamed to the wind, and they popped out on their own.
Oh, okay.
So,
Life is good, but it's exciting.
yeah, someone's gonna have to write a check, fix some things.